There, everybody. And this episode, we're going to be talking about newsletters. So, we're going to be talking about newsletters because there is a ton of potential in newsletters if you're looking to start a business. And I don't want to call it an easy startup business, but relatively easy compared to building a solar farm or trying to construct a skyscraper, right? So if you're looking to get into a business that's fairly easy to start up comparatively to tons and tons of other things, this is one of them, because all you need is a computer, the ability or know somebody who is willing or knows how to write compelling articles or share ideas. And ultimately, you just got to start building an email list. And you do that by giving people things of value, giving people articles that they're going to enjoy, giving people a reason to want to subscribe. And you can do that in so many ways, whether you have free offers, whether you just have such an amazing article or writing ability that people just can't help but be attracted to subscribing to your newsletter, or anything else. There could be so many things, and especially if you find a very specific audience that you want to reach. Like, I don't know, maybe you want to be very specific to people who love lamps, and you are a exotic lamp collector, and you know a lot about the type of lamps that are around the world. And you can add value to that conversation and just share all these amazing lamps. I mean, a newsletter about lamps is just an idea. I don't know what the market is for that, but newsletters are popular because of how simple it is to start up compared to some other things, right? As I mentioned, you need a computer and you need an email system, and you just need to know how to design and write those articles and the different ideas on a newsletter. And of course, if you are building a business, if you are building a newsletter business, what you're going to want to do is you're going to need to make an income from it. Because if you're going to grow that newsletter, you're going to have to pay or figure out a way to acquire clients. And if you're going to want to keep that newsletter running for a long time, you're going to need to generate income, because in order to have the systems that allow you to have a newsletter, like say you're building a website, say you're building a email newsletter, or say you want to find different types of articles, the best way to be able to do all of that is with an income, because you're going to have to pay for your email system. And it's not a lot of money. You can start as low as, I think MailChimp has a very low price. I think it's like $10 a month at the time of making this video. Don't quote me on that price. You can start for $10 a month. And it goes up much higher depending on how many subscribers you have, how many emails you send out. So most people, if they have any sort of job, they can afford that month to month basis. But as you start to grow, as you decide to start to want to turn a newsletter into a full-time job, the expenses are definitely going to come into consideration as you start to grow an audience, decide what products you want to offer. And if you decide like, hey, okay, do you want to charge for the newsletter right up front because you've got a really great brand, you've got great writers, you've got great advertisers, you've got tons of buku dollars to spend and be able to do that, that's great. But if you are just starting out and you're just trying to figure things out and you're trying to learn, you're trying to get together the resources, build your network of people who can, write and contribute and all that, then for that, you're going to want to know, okay, so maybe you might start off with a free newsletter, and then you want to create more offerings and opportunities for people to, either subscribe or offer products. So that's one way to do it. And for this list, I'm doing 10 ideas for newsletter offers. So this is just assuming that you have a free newsletter and that you're doing the business so that you can grow it, so that you can make an income, so that you could turn it into a business and add more and more value to your subscribers. And with that, you're going to have some offers that they want to take, that your audience wants, that can help them, that adds value, that can help them solve a problem. And with that, here's some of the offers that you can provide. So 10 ideas for newsletter offers. First is And this doesn't necessarily have to generate an income. This could just be things that you share with people to either get them to subscribe, or if they're already subscribed, to just keep them engaged. So one is free parts from books. So if you've written a book, or you know somebody who's willing to share chapters from their book, or and I would always speak with a lawyer in any setting where you need to describe on a legal thing or understand whether it's legal or not. But there are tons of public domain works out there. Public domain means that it's accessible to the public. There are tons of people on Amazon who literally take public domain books that are, over 100 years old, take and just republish them. There are people that actually do that, and they make a business off it. And I'm not saying that that's what you should do, or that, I even agree with that business model, but it happens. Even big publishers republish books that way. So, on a personal level, I like to come up with my own things, but on a big scale, this is an opportunity. And what you can also do, there's a lot of authors who all they do is translate. So they take a public domain work and they just translate that entire book. And then it becomes theirs because it's translation, and that is protected by copyright. But if you plan to go down that route, speak with a lawyer. But this is just an idea. Free parts from books. The easiest way is to go find books that you've written or that your friends have written, and let's see if they're willing to share their ideas with your newsletter. Number 2, discounts to other sites. So you would have to build some partnerships with different websites, or there are actually other websites that might take you on as an affiliate if you have a newsletter, and give you special offers every once in a while. And with those offers, they give you discounts, and you could share them with your people and ultimately earn an income from it, while also helping benefit the people that are signed up to your newsletter. And also, okay, so number 3, an idea is you can offer the people on your newsletter, depending on what you do. Like, say you are a entrepreneurial newsletter and you want to have a bunch of people, more engaged on your newsletter, you can submit request, send out an email to your subscribers and ask them to submit an article that they'd like to submit to your newsletter. So not only are you getting them engaged, but you're getting contact and material. Number 4, special book recommendations. Again, this also depends on what market you're in, but regardless of what market, I think there's probably going to be a book about it. Whether you're in business, whether you're in finance, whether you're in law, whether you're in media, entertainment, digital marketing, whatever that is, find plates and glassware, whatever that is, give special book recommendations. This can be a whole other offer that, someone might sign up for just from your newsletter. And number 5, guest videos. Guest videos, if you are a newsletter and your people, the people that are on your subscription list, are also experts at what they do, they're highly knowledgeable, and they just want to get their brand out there, bring on some guest interviewers or guest videos, create. This can also be an offer, is create a guest video, a series of guest videos from your subscribers. Bring your subscribers, or bring them to your subscribers. Like, say if you are a cooking newsletter, someone who does cooking, fine dining, chef newsletter, you could bring in a guest appearance video from Emerald, I think his name's Emerald Agassi, or the guy from the UK, that gentleman from the UK, Chef Ramsay. Yeah, so you could bring them in on a guest video, and they don't even have to leave their house. They just got to record the video and give it to you. Now, obviously, you want to figure out for very successful, super, in-demand people who don't have that much time, you would have to figure out what's in it for them. But sometimes, they'll be willing to help out someone who is just, looking to get started, or improving everything they're doing. Next, you've got a paid spin-off newsletter. There you go. So number 6, if you already provide a very valuable free newsletter, and you apply all these other offers, one other thing you can do, and I've actually gotten this idea from other mentors of mine and experts that I go to. One particular who also talks about this is James Altucher, so I can't take credit for this idea, but paid spinoff newsletter. He talks about this on his live Instagrams, which constantly always sharing some amazing ideas that can be very helpful. So I totally recommend it. That's James Altucher. He's the author of Choose Yourself and Choose Yourself Guide to Wealth, and the Side Hustle Bible, and many other very well reputed books. He talks about paid spinoff newsletters. So if you offer a newsletter that's free, that reaches thousands of people, or you aim to reach thousands of people, then ultimately, in order to make an income, you got to figure out some way, right? In order to be able to support those tens of thousands or tens of thousands of people, you need to have some sort of system to generate income. So, find your find your subscribers who engage in your content the most, and then offer them a paid subscription newsletter that's, exclusive content, things like that. And I've seen this done in many newsletters. In fact, you go to big newsletters like Forbes.com, and at Forbes.com, they've got an unpaid format where they send you ideas and stuff, but usually it's not as exclusive as, if you were to pay for their very specific, updated newsletters that, actually have up-to-date advice on what you can do with your money and things like that, or up-to-date stories. And while those websites like Forbes.com and all that, they all also offer a ton of free content, you can't get to that content easily all the time without getting rid of your ad blockers or anything like that. If you got ad blockers, then that's a whole different thing. But paid spinoff newsletter. And then we're also going to look at a private network. I've seen this done a lot. This might not be the best idea on this list, and it's difficult to charge for because you have to build the systems around it. It can't just be, a Facebook page. But number 7 is private network. I've seen this developed as an internal system where someone has like a private social network on their website hosted as opposed to on Facebook. But you can do this in many ways. If your product is in very high demand, if your knowledge is in very high demand, if your people, the people that you work with are experts, this is an opportunity to do a private network. And it's kind of like creating that little mastermind that we talked about in a previous podcast. And number 8, we have raffled consulting calls with experts. Okay, here you go. So if you are in a newsletter and if you're in a very specific niche, you can meet up with experts. You can meet up with experts that and partner with them to be able to share your expertise, to be able to share your knowledge, to be able to offer a consulting with them. Now, obviously, you got to be respectful of their time, right? So you can't just go out there and say, oh, I'm going to give you a free consulting call with this guy, right? But you got to be, obviously, reach out to the person that you want to offer the consulting and see if they're willing to do it, and you can raffle it off so that not only can they have an opportunity to get a client, but also you're adding value to the customer conversation for your subscribers. And also it's raffling is important because it means that someone is taking the effort to actually sign up and want and desire that consultation, as opposed to just saying, hey, everybody who responds to this email, you get a consultation, you get a consultation, you get a consultation, right? It's building more value, and making sure that the person who signs up is a person that wants what you have to offer. And then next, we're looking at number 9, Audible links for people who never listen. Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's something fun. I love Audible. Audible has been an amazing resource for me because I like to drive. I drive long distances, and I've listened to hours of content on a single trip, and all books from people like motivational speakers to business books to fiction stories and more from some of the greatest authors in the world. And you can listen to them by some trained voice readers, and you get a pleasant experience through Audible. And what all else is also great about Audible before. So if you don't have an Audible account and you've got an amazing book recommendation, you can literally just send them a link from your phone and they listen to that book for free. Absolutely an amazing way. So to offer things to people without, you know, just without just like taking without adding value. And that is really easy to do, simple, just an idea. And, you still have to figure out other ways to be able to, help your subscribers and be able to make an income for your newsletter. But that's just one way if you're focused on adding value. And number 10, here we go. Number 10 is resources and tools I use. So I replace I for me or you, you know, sit in my shoes or, take the role of the person who owns a newsletter right now and consider what resources and tools do you use for your business. So if you're making a newsletter, a very specific newsletter to a certain business industry, then what you can do is you can constantly share the resources and the tools that you use for your business. So if you use a certain consulting company, maybe partner with them. If you use a certain a software system, tool, website, share the ideas. And I'm not saying you have to give away, your biggest industry secrets, right? I wouldn't do that. But what you want to do is in terms of engaging your audience, in terms of helping them, depending on your niche, if you're about building business, if you're about entrepreneurship, if you're about growing a business, if you're about marketing, sales, selling certain types of products, growing retail stores. If you're in any of those types of situations where your advice is or highly sought for and you do some sort of consulting, then, take an opportunity to share some of the resources and tools that you use so that, you can not only engage with your audience, but allow them to do further research and obviously build other business opportunities in the future, especially if you partner with the right people who have the resources and tools that you use. And there you go. You've got this great business going. And that is the 10 ideas for newsletter offers. So whether you're starting a newsletter, whether you just like the ideas or whether you just wanted to get going and learn something interesting, I wish you the absolute best out there. I wish you massive success and thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.